Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. Today I will present about climate change in Malaysia. Climate change is not a distant problem, it is happening right now. Global warming refers to the long-term rise of average temperature, mainly due to greenhouse gas. Malaysia's surface temperature has increased by 0.14 to 0.25 degrees Celsius per decade between 1970 to 2013. This issue is critical because it directly affects our biodiversity, food security, and public health. In the video, I will explain the biological concept, connect them to real cases in Malaysia, and share solutions supported by scientific data. Now, let us first look at the biological concept and how they are interconnected. It begins with the greenhouse effect. Normally, greenhouse gas traps some heat in the atmosphere to keep Earth warm enough for life. But human activities like burning fossil fuels, deforestation, and industrialization have intensified this effect, leading to global warming. The extra heat absorbed by oceans causes thermal stress on coral reef. Corals respond by expelling the algae, so suddenly they rely on for food, causing coral bleaching. Once bleached, coral are weakened and may eventually die. At the same time, the excess carbon dioxide dissolves into seawater, lowering pH and causing ocean acidification. This prevents marine life such as plankton, oyster, and coral from forming their shell and skeleton properly. On land, rising temperatures and changing rainfall patterns disrupt ecosystem. Warmer and wetter conditions create favorable breeding ground for mosquitoes, increasing the risk of vector-borne diseases such as dengue fever. So, what's one environmental change? An increase in atmospheric carbon dioxide can disrupt biological processes across entire ecosystem, from microscopic plankton to humans. In Malaysia, the impact of climate change are already very visible and serious. For example, our coral reef in Tioman and Perhentian Island are under severe stress. A 2023 marine study even reported that Perhentian water has the highest average microplastic, which worsen bleaching events that are already triggered by rising sea temperature. This shows how both global warming and pollution interact to damage our marine ecosystem. Another impact is extreme weather event. In December 2021, Malaysia experienced a historic flood when 1 month's worth of rainfall fell within just 24 hours in Klang Valley. This single event caused devastating impact and causing RM 9.1 to 8 billion in damage. The health of Malaysians has also been affected during the 2023 until 2024 El Nino event. The Malaysian Ministry of Health recorded 127 cases of heat-related illness, including 5 fatalities. Rising temperatures are also linked to the expansion of mosquito habitats, which has led to an increase in dengue fever cases, especially in urban areas. These examples show clearly that climate change is not theory but a present danger to Malaysian environment, economy, and health. Scientific data give us a clear picture. Globally, the IPC report global temperature are 1.1 until 1.2 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. The WHO warns climate change could cause 250,000 extra deaths each year by 2050 due to malnutrition, malaria, dengue, and heat stress. Luckily, Malaysia pledged a 45% cut in carbon intensity by 2030 compared to 2005 and aims for net zero by 2050. The NETR targets 70% renewable energy by 2050. However, Malaysia still ranks 48 in Climate Change Performance Index, criticized for continuing new oil and gas exploration. These data show progress is being made, but it is not enough. Despite the challenge, Malaysia has started to take important steps to tackle climate change. First, in terms of mitigation, the National Energy Transition Roadmap and NETR promote renewable energy such as solar and wind power. Malaysia is also investing in CCUS technology to reduce emissions from heavy industry like cement and steel. This effort is expected to bring cumulative savings of up to $130 million by 2050. Second, for adaptation, the government has allocated Rm13 billion in budget 2025 for disaster risk management. This includes large-scale flood mitigation projects as well as the development of climate-resilient crops to safeguard Malaysia's food security in the face of changing weather patterns. Third, on policy side, Malaysia has proposed a climate change aid known as RUPIN, which is planned for 2025. However, while this is a positive move, some experts have criticized the draft for lacking binding carbon target and for containing clauses that may limit government accountability. Finally, at the level of community action, stricter plastic waste regulations have been implemented, including plastic bag bans in several states. These efforts have reduced plastic bag usage by around 13%. At the same time, public awareness is improving, with voluntary cleanup activity increasing by 15%. This shows that solutions must combine government policy, scientific innovation, and community involvement. In conclusion, climate change is already affecting Malaysia's ecosystem and human health. The science is clear and the data is undeniable. We need urgent, accountable action from policymakers, communities, and individuals. Every action counts, saving energy, reducing plastic, and supporting sustainable choice. Remember, climate change is not just about protecting nature, it is about protecting our survival and future generations. Thank you.